28,000. That means we are only 28,000 away from 2 million. Let's get it. I'm getting really excited. It's like pumping me up right now. I'm like very excited about this. Working out gives you a little energy. Anyway, we have a $50 donation from Jaron, who agrees with me because they say, push for that 2 million. Hype! Alrighty, we also have so many. We have so many great ones. We have a $20 donation from Cloaking Device saying, I want to see so many glitches that Link to the Past winds up Back to the Future. I appreciate that. And a $100 donation from Anonymous who says, one glitch to the past, please. All right, I believe we are ready to head on over to the runs. So we will be getting to see the wonderful All Dungeons Legend of Zelda Link to the Past run by Glan. Glan, take it away. Good luck to you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Glan. I'm going to be running Link to the Past. All Dungeons is a really cool category, and it's pretty complicated, so I'm joined by 3 commentators here who are going to help me explain everything. Why don't you introduce yourselves?
Hi, I'm Josh.
Hi, I'm Taj.
I'm Jax Human.
All right, so let's just take it away then, shall we? I'll count us down. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, so this run is gonna get pretty busted right away. Typically when this game is played, most players, as well as most marathons, use a rule set we call no major glitches, or NMG. And there's not too much unexpected that happens in those. The spirit of it is to mostly play the game as it was intended to be played. Not so in this run. We're just gonna do all sorts of crazy stuff, and the magic is gonna happen pretty much right away, really, with a glitch called Exploration Glitch, or EG, in the castle here.
So one of the things we do have to do with this entire run is we have to beat all of the major dungeon bosses, as well as get all the pendants and crystals as we go along. But as we're going through the first dungeon here, the Castle Escape, let's get into what EG actually entails. So the entire underworld of this game is essentially built like a cross-stitched quilt. And EG basically means we're able to more freely move between each individual section of this quilt by typically being on what's called the lower layer of each individual room. So you're first going to see Glan go into the castle and head off to the right and go up the stairs and start doing what we call select buffers. And those buffers are to move in a very precise way so that we can get around this rail and bypass what would normally be a ledge hop. And because of that, we're actually still on that upper layer, and we can hit another ledge lower down, and that ledge will actually bring us down below under the floor. And from there, will actually be what we call EG. It's just a form of out of bounds that happens to be essentially connected to everywhere else in the underworld.
Yeah,
it is pretty
EG is like going from one layer to another improperly. Mostly walking underneath the floor.
Had a little difficulty there, but fine.
Yeah, but there we go. We get the ledge hop. Link disappears because he's underneath everything. And now he's actually going to jump into the void here. And that void jump is actually an incomplete jump. Link did not land on the ground, and so that jump just gets kind of stored. And we're going to wind up using that later to get back into EG. Yeah, but first, we need to go rescue the princess. Well, at least the green guard was cooperative.
Very good. If he gets hit by the ball and chain guard at all there, it loses a lot of time.
Yeah, I would have died.
Right, because that would have taken that interrupted jump from earlier and completed it, which we don't want quite yet. We want to use this green guard to hit Link and cause that RPG
it wouldn't
to
have
activate.
because I would have died.
That too, Yeah. I forget how low the health is sometimes in this area, but now we get to see what EG truly entails in terms of just walking around. Where you can kind of imagine Link being below the floor on all of these, and we're just walking around all these different corridors just outside of them. And we're headed straight to the sanctuary. Now, one of the interesting things with the sanctuary is that there's a priest there that talks to you, but normally only after this shelf moves out of the way. And we found out only a couple of years ago that that particular text box you get from the priest is not based on a position or anything. It's actually based on just a global timer that happens when you enter the room. So we actually enter at a very specific point so that we trigger that text box as late as possible so that we actually do get the cutscene to play right before we cause another transition going upward. Now, we actually want to stay in this out-of-bounds state because there's a few other things we can grab. The game still believes that we're in the Hyrule Castle dungeon, and that big key that we got from the ball and chain guard from rescuing the princess can be used to open up all kinds of different big chests that carry very useful items. And in fact, there's one in particular we're headed to right after talking to the priest here, which is the Cane of Samaria. And the Cane of Samaria is without a doubt the most broken item in the entire game.
Oh, it's so busted.
It is used in pretty much every single facet that not only the developers thought of, but many that they didn't think of.
Yeah. I do like that you actually use it for its intended use once in this run.
We do? Where? I forget.
Swamp.
Oh, yeah.
Right. That's not how it's intended to be used in that room, but it does work for us.
Yeah. But you did see that Glan hopped out of the wall there. One of the limitations with EG is that we can only come out in certain ways, usually by hopping a ledge onto a lower area of the floor that is actually inbounds. There are a few other ways, but we don't quite have the equipment for that yet. Up next, we're headed over to Eastern Palace like you would in a normal run, but we have a few more tricks to speed this all up. One thing we should get into is that all of the collision in this game is built up of these 8x8 pixel tiles, and one of the consequences of that is that slopes are kind of in the middle of that, and they're really easy to clip into just a little bit with proper movement, and if we clip in enough, we wind up causing a teleport. As you'll see Glan go down, and then he hops a ledge, hops some more ledges, and wraps the screen off the bottom to get up to the top and enter Eastern Palace. And that particular clip, I think, saves like 6 or 8 seconds. Next, we're going to do what's called a door juke. So when I said that the underworld was built as a quilt, there are doors that are on the insides of each of these units of the quilt, and we can snap Link over these transitions, then hit them from the other side, which winds up causing some interesting things to happen, such as we are now in a completely different part of the dungeon, and also Link is not able to interact with any sprites, but we can still interact with chests and pots and such, so we can get the big key of Eastern right away. Now, this transition somehow brings back some collision of sprites, even though we can't see them, so we're going to cause a little death warp. That death warp is actually important because it fixes our camera as well as the Link being synced with sprites, and we're able to continue the dungeon normally, except now we have the big key much earlier than we would normally, because there's this whole big loop around where you have to go through a dark room, get a couple of small keys, and another kill room. We're just going to skip all that.
Yeah. And we're going to
next
skip
we're gonna...
more looping.
Yeah. Now we're going to skip another part of the loop by using the Cane of Samaria to act as sort of an interrupt for some of the collision, or not the collision, but walking, and we're bypassing the layer just like we did in Hyrule Castle to get around, and we use the stairs to kind of swap Link's layer to go from the upper to the lower, and we're back in EG, and now we're going to hop back out again, which again skips part of the loop of the dungeon. So now we've got the bow, and the only thing we have left is Armos. But during the Armos fight, there's one thing we want to do that's going to take some manipulation of parts of Link's inventory. Now, Link's inventory creates some sprites, but they are treated very differently by the game, and so we call stuff from Link's inventory Ancilla. And there's a whole bunch of different variables that go on with that, and we're going to be manipulating some of those variables in order to cause various effects throughout the run. And the first one we're going to see is a fanfare skip for the pendant, hopefully.
Hopefully.
It is a little tricky to pull off. a lot of these sorts of glitches that involve ancilla memory manipulation are not trivial to pull off.
Wow, no rubies.
Dang, unlucky.
I know, you need so few for this run. But here we go with the Armos fight. Glan is actually going to shoot arrows in a particular way so that the last Armos dies before it can turn red, because if it turns red, it actually regains all of its health. But now we're going to see a bunch of item usage that is used to mess up things in so many different ways.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, we get the full fanfare. It was very close, though. I think you were just a little too quick placing the last block there.
Yeah.
And there weren't any sparkles.
Maybe.
No mention of the fight, though. It was a nice fight.
Yeah, it went as planned.
It was a pretty normal-looking fight. We may see some bosses approached in a bit differently later.
So here he gets the boots, which are super important, not just for speed run and we want to dash around and make our movement quicker, but they also open up a lot of glitching themselves. A lot of clip applications use the boots. He's also going to come get bombs, which also do the same thing. They allow us to clip and glitch in a variety of ways. Now we're going to be going to Death Mountain, which, if you know about the vanilla progression of this game, the game wants you to go to Desert to get the gloves, which allow you to access Death Mountain by lifting a boulder. But using a clip over here, we'll be able to get into the entrance to Death Mountain without having any glove upgrade.
We're doing another screen wrap again
Yeah.
to push Link off of the bottom of the screen and back to the top.
Grab the wall. Yeah, so here I've taken out the lamp, you might have noticed, and I'm going to be using the lamp here to set up some memory values for another ancilla glitch. The same thing that we did in Eastern, to skip the pendant fanfare, I'm going to do in the next dungeon. It's just going to be
It's
set
just
up
more
a little
advantageous
differently.
to do it now.
Yeah.
It's more advantageous to do those lamps now while we're walking. We actually can't dash with the older man. I mean, we can, but it's not any faster at all. So it's just better to do that menu now and do the lamps, because you can't lamp while dashing.
Hi,
He's
I'm
an old
so
man,
sorry.
he can't run.
Oh, so sorry to interrupt. I just want to throw in really quickly that we just hit $2 million.
Oh,
That's great.
yeah.
That's
So
great.
exciting. So sorry
Man,
about
that's
that.
a lot earlier in this run.
It's very important to say. It was very important to say. Congratulations,
very
Chad.
important.
Keep it up.
Nice work, everyone.
That was way earlier than I thought it'd be in this run.
I know.
Good job, guys.
Also, if you have a sec, we are currently at 80. We already almost at 86,000 for the glitch exhibition. So keep those donations coming in. Let's hit some new records. This is amazing. Thank you so much, chat. Keep going. Also, let me know when you want some donations.
We will.
We will.
Keep
This
those
beginning is
donations
very
for
dense.
the exhibition coming. You will not regret it.
So what Glan just did there was he's clipping out of bounds in this lower section of Hera, which winds up going into EG anyway, and he actually went over to a completely different dungeon
Oops.
called Thieves Town, where you actually have to open up this bombable floor in an attic to spawn some light to get the boss to actually reveal its true self. But we go ahead and do that in Hera because we can. For some reason, you can open that bomb floor from underneath.
Yeah.
But now we're using actually an intended pot there, or I guess hole to fall down. It's supposed to be a secret to lead you to that fairy room, but we can reach it from the entrance by just clipping out of bounds.
Everyone's favorite boss.
Yeah, so this is Moldorm. Probably the most infamous boss of this game. Very erratic movement, and he knocks you back really far, sometimes off the edge, forcing you to restart the fight.
Nice.
In certain speedrun categories, it's nice to have
Yeah,
a better weapon.
I messed this up again.
Yeah, the block was just too far to the other side. That's
Yeah,
unfortunate.
because I picked it up by accident.
Yeah. Yeah, so Mario blocks are really finicky. If they are off screen at all, they just disappear. and we needed a glitchy one to be there for what we were trying to do.
Now he's gonna go in this cave and do a bomb clip. We mentioned bombs being pretty important. If you dash into a slope and have an explosion hit you, at the same time you can get clipped through the wall.
It's kind of specific positioning, but it's not like pixel perfect or anything.
Yeah, I think there's a 3x3 pixel window for the bomb to be, and then the dash is pretty lenient as far as just kind of dashing into the explosion. But here, Glan just used something called an EG kick, where there are some rooms in this game that if you're on a lower layer, it'll actually kick you to the upper layer. And we just happened to run into one of those and use that kick of Link being stuck in a wall in the game, trying to push him out of it, to hit a transition and be in a another part while out of EG, which lets us get to the hammer here. And the reason we were actually able to open that big chest is because the game currently thinks we're in a cave. And there are certain big keys that the game can check against when you're in a cave to open up various large locks. And also, in addition to that, your key value gets set to -1 when you enter a cave. And all that key doors care about when they open is whether or not it's 0. Since it's not 0, the key door opens, decreases our counter by 1, and we continue. So we're able to open up as many keys as we want.
Could probably fit in a donation here.
Sure thing. We have a $75 donation from Phileon, who says, A Link to the Past isn't just my favorite Zelda game. It's the game that got me started in speedrunning and attending GDQ in person. Miss everyone. Me too, I miss you guys so much. Much love to Glan, frogs everywhere, and everyone who's contributed to the tech of this run. Donation goes toward Glitch Exhibition.
Thanks,
All right, so now we're starting something called statue drag, where we mirror while facing a statue, and now the game thinks that there's this invisible statue in front of us, and we're going to use that plus a whole lot of transition magic to bring Link one quilt square down, which happens to be right where the boss of the Palace of Darkness happens to be. And we actually had to exit and re-enter for 2 reasons. 1, to respawn all the sprites, which includes the bosses, and 2, to actually get the proper dungeon ID. Now, every dungeon has an ID associated with it, and the prize that you get from that dungeon is determined by the ID you have. So in order to get the crystal for the Palace of Darkness, we had to have the dungeon ID for Palace of Darkness.
This fight's pretty tough to do on this amount of health, so... No problem for Glan, though. It was great.
Nice fight.
Yeah. Almasaur can be really generous or really, really rude, depending on how many fireballs he spits.
And luckily, we can despawn one of them if the fireballs are on screen and Glan destroys the mask, but that's the only reprieve you can really get.
Yeah. We could get another donation during this cutscene. Oh, sorry, checks.
Oh, yeah. If you're using the hammer only, you're kind of counting to 17, sort of, and then you have a chance to watch the mask, the fireball.
Yeah.
All right, donation time?
Yep.
Okay. We have a $5 donation from Apathy Duck, who says, All Dungeons is a pretty tough run. I've only been able to complete a some dungeons run. Got it. It was capitalized. I was like, what? Some dungeons run. Good luck, Glan, Chegs, Taj, and Josh.
Thanks, Duck.
Is that donation riddled with spelling errors by any chance?
Actually, no.
Oh, wow.
The S and some was capitalized.
That's
Threw me off,
impressive.
but that was it.
All right, so up next we have something we call Death Hole, which is just causing a death while a hole would transport us to another part of the dungeon at the exact same time. And this causes something called a sub-mode manipulation, which actually causes a fairy revive, but it also changes where the game thinks Link is. Every single room in this game has something called a room ID, and by causing that death hole there, we actually got the room ID of where we were going to fall to, and then where you transition from there is based off of your room ID. So we wind up going into that cave that we saw earlier where we bomb clipped. But we're able to get into EG from that, and we're able to just hop out of EG here, and we're right by Thieves Town. Things happen fast.
We saw the dungeon turn green as well, because for some reason it borrows from the last dungeon where we died, which was Eastern Palace.
Yeah, and that's actually a new development, something that Glan found out. Otherwise, that screen would have been completely black.
Yeah. It's a side effect of the Fairy Revive.
Yeah, there's something with certain aspects of the Fairy Revive where it loads certain palettes, but if you haven't died yet in the run, then there's no palette actually loaded there, so everything becomes black.
So this dungeon we get to do a little bit differently because if you remember in Hero, we went and blew open the hole that's on the second floor that lets light into Blind's room. That saves a lot of time because he can steal a key up here and eliminate a lot of backtracking and extra rooms and stuff.
Normally you'd have to use that key to go upstairs to open the hole, but we don't have to. So when we go down to the basement, we can go straight to the midst before getting the key beside Blind. Just saves a little bit of movement down here as well.
Fortunately, the devs put 2 ways out of this room into the game. I'm not really sure why they chose to do it, but it's really beneficial for glitch runs that they did because you need gloves to lift that big block.
I think like they intended that you needed the midst to lift the big block, and then it got changed or something.
That would make sense, yeah. Some more glitching coming up.
Yeah, right after we grab the maiden here, we're going to be using the Cane of Samaria and some doorways. We did use that a little bit earlier, but this is a completely different way. We're actually going to be causing the transition with the block being in our way, and that causes some various effects. And it's really complicated as to how some of this stuff works. But just know that this one that he's doing in this northern door actually modifies the room ID again. So the transitions we get, again, oh, that's not good.
That's a really bad mistake.
Yeah, now we got to make our way down to the basement again. Another trip through Hellway.
Great. Yeah, it's one of the worst mistakes you can make in this run.
Glan used the opportunity to get 5 more rupees. However, we'll need these 10 rupees.
Yeah.
Yep, we need every single one of them.
And only that many.
Well, I wasn't going to say that yet. But yeah, we only need 10 rupees for this entire run.
Yeah, these glitches are going to let him, that he's trying to do in the basement, are going to let him get the hook shot and the moon pearl. Both are very important items. The moon pearl, you can actually beat all the dungeons without ever having it. But it's just way slower to approach the game that way. The reason we didn't get it while we were in Tower of Hera is getting the big key in Tower of Hera is quite slow. There's like an auto-scroller type room you have to get through.
Ugh. Not used to like doing this after coming back.
Yeah, a lot of these glitches are not as trivial as he's making them seem.
All right, there we go. But now this transition will bring me into Swamp Palace, to the big chest room.
And again, the game still thinks we're in Thieves Town, so that big key we got at the entrance of the dungeon will still work for all the big chests that we come across, which is why we're able to open up so many things. Now, because of the stuff we did with the Cane of Samaria, a lot of our transitions here are broken, and we're using them in a very specific way to be able to go through these rooms and get to other areas that you normally wouldn't be able to do like this.
We can use that hook shot right away to grapple the big chest of Tower of Hera and finally get that moon pearl.
So all that's left is the boss fight.
It's a scripted fight.
Where we reveal the maiden, we reveal the maiden's true nature of being a scripted fight.
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't just walk out with the maiden. I mean, I already rescued her. Don't really need to do anything else, right?
Well, she says she doesn't like the bright light. Here's some.
Yeah. Oh. That's why she doesn't like it. She's actually a horrible monster in disguise. Alright. Blind is a very hectic fight when you play casually, but it's not actually random at all. So for a speedrun, it's really simple to just do the same way every time.
And now we have some time for some donations.
Alrighty, well, we have plenty coming in right now. We are now at, let's see, $2,010,000, which is amazing. In terms of the glitch exhibition, we are at 93,933, which is actually a great number. But that is out of the 222,000. So we are getting close to the halfway point for that. Keep getting those donations in. This is the last night to do it. I believe in you all. We have a $20 donation from Z64 saying, time for all dungeons with all the glitches. Good luck, Glan. Thanks for all the help you give back to the community.
Thank you.
Dude, there's a $50 donation from Jeff MCG. All right, ready? What is Link's favorite kind of music?
I have no idea.
Octorock.
Ha.
Oh, so funny. You have time for one more?
Yeah, actually, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Awesome. I can go for as long as you need. We have a $50 donation from Zero Rush, who says, excited to see Glan's Link to the Past major glitches run. Oh, what's the glitches exhibition? Can't think of a better group of people to showcase this category. Shout outs to Josh, Tex, and Tajso on the E-Couch.
Zero Rush.
Thank you.
All right, so there go our 10 rupees, and we traded them in for a much better sword. We do have to cause a screen transition here to, simulate time passing for the smiths to actually work on it. But the tempered sword is extremely useful. Getting the gold sword is a bit slow, but this one is pretty fast and is a significant power upgrade.
Yeah. Curiously, we went from the first sword to the third sword. You don't actually have to get the second one. Not sure why they made it like that, but you can.
I don't think we talked about item dashing, by the way. We saw Glan use the hook shot and dash on the same frame, which allowed him to travel at very high speeds diagonally and all around the screen.
Yeah, that's
And we also picked up a bottle in the back of the tavern, and that bottle is going to be very important later.
I almost ran into that spear. That would have been bad.
Yeah, you do need beams for this. So now we're getting to something completely new with Ancilla manipulation, something we call a hook push, which is essentially putting a Samaria block where it shouldn't be. Normally in the game, there are 5 slots available for stuff that Link uses in his inventory, but there are actually 10 slots for those types of objects. The other 5 slots are typically used for things like sword sparkles or sparkles around other items and all that. But through clever manipulation of the memory, we can actually place a Samaria block in one of those later slots. Now, a Samaria block is never supposed to go up there, and so it's able to hit other bits of memory that are normally unavailable. And because of that, we can actually modify properties of other Ancilla that we use, in which case, for a hook push would be the hook shot. And we're actually going to use that to go directly into EG once we get the fire rod here.
Nice.
Very nice. Incidentally,
Those-
we had to do a bomb jump in the middle of that just so we could get that fire rod.
Yeah.
That's a nice
I thought
shortcut.
I was gonna fail the bomb jump. Honestly, I was really low.
Yeah, you were. I was worried myself. It's like, oh no, please work.
So that room that we kicked out of EG earlier to get to the magic hammer is the same one that we're fighting Moth in now. It's mainly because of that full room conveyor is why it kicks you out of EG. But because of all that, we get to complete Skull Woods while skipping a ton of the rooms. And that hook push setup that he did earlier is not trivial to perform at all. And it's impressive that he's able to do it so consistently.
And really nice movement with the hook shot while you're already in the fight just to get it started.
Yeah. I feel it's a bit of a
Get that
hectic
nice double
fight. Like,
Yeah. The boss isn't the moth. The boss is the room.
Yeah. you want to keep it under control from the start. If you ever lose control, it's really hard to get back. And probably
I
fit
think
in
we
a
have time for
donation.
one or two. Yeah.
Awesome. We have a $15 donation from The Frogs, who says, "Hi, Glan. It's your friends from the pond. Someone told us you were good at Zelda, but we weren't expecting you to break the game. This run is absolutely riveting. Hopefully, we meet the 2 million mark soon." Well, we did. Also, oh. Do you like one more?
I like frogs, by the way.
Amazing.
Yeah, you can do one more.
Yeah, we can fit
do
one more.
Yeah.
Awesome. We have a $50 donation from Lancion, who says, "May Moai bless this run and this great runner. Glan, we love you."
Oh, that's not good. Okay, you can probably do a couple more donations.
You did that on purpose just so I could read donations, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. Totally. Oh, just as a quick update, we are now at over $97,000 toward that glitch exhibition. So we need another about 125,000, and we can definitely get there. We're almost halfway. Let's go. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, it's going to be a real good show. You guys really want to see that. There's a bunch of
Absolutely.
stuff that we don't really get to see in speed runs that are just bonkers, even beyond what this run does.
We have a $25 donation from Steven_IRL, who says, "Frogs are love, frogs are life. Glan is good. Good luck, gamer."
Thank you. Thank you
All
for
right.
all the frog-related donations, by the way. Really appreciate it.
All right, so this dungeon is desert, and normally the boss of this dungeon is Lanmola's, but we found a more efficient way of going through all of the dungeons, where we actually fight Lanmola's later on, but we still need to get that dungeon prize of the blue pendant from here. So we needed to find another boss to get to, and happens to be one, I guess you could call it nearby. It's nearby on the big quilts of rooms for the underworld. We're actually going over to a swamp palace where we're going to be doing a bunch of stuff. And actually, there's a bit of a photosensitivity warning we want to put up because the graphics are going to get completely corrupted in about a minute.
Yeah.
Hi, Samaria.
Yeah, we did another Samaria corruption there to change the room ID and how we got, like, where we transitioned to from that room.
All right, here's the only normal use of Cane of Samaria. Hope you enjoy it. And now we're going to do something called a mirror door, which is, again, like the death hole from Palace of Darkness, a sub-mode manipulation. Now, normally with these things, what's basically happening is we're trying to do two things at the same time, and instead of the game choosing one or the other, it adds them together and interprets the result as best it can.
Oh yeah, graphics weren't
the
here,
case
by the
of
way.
yeah, it's coming in just a couple of seconds. But in this case, the manipulation that we wind up getting is actually tied to the same timer that the game uses to open up the door to the Triforce room from the Ganon fight. And so we actually have to wait for that to count down before the transition happens, which is why the game kind of froze there.
Oh, this
So
is Argus.
Yeah.
Yeah, in case you couldn't tell.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, I couldn't hear him fly up.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay.
Argus is down.
I'm trying to do another pendant fanfare skip here. Hopefully I actually get this one. Okay, I did get it.
Yep.
Nice.
All
I
right,
got
now.
the only one that you can't actually see.
All right, so real quick, Glan is going to mirror there. We get to fix the sprites graphics, but nothing else, and that's only so that you guys can see what's going on with this hook push here. There's a lot of memory manipulation through all the items that he's using, and that's actually going to let him use the hook shot, and instead of going through the floor, he's going to sail across the wall to the right.
It's gonna look really glitchy right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to look even worse. But so the room that we actually went into is, once again, Mothula's room. It just happens to be right there, right next to the entrance of Swamp Palace. By the way, we were actually at the entrance of Swamp Palace and not Desert. We'll get into that later. We have time for a few more donations.
I can help you out there. This is amazing to watch, by the way.
Thank
Oh
you.
my gosh, I'm just keeping track of it. Okay, we are also, oh my gosh, I'm just looking at all of the totals going back and forth. Oh my gosh, we're about to hit 100,000 for that glitch exhibition. Let's keep it up. Oh my gosh, keep it up. We have a, let me see, $5 donation from Udai, who says, Glan has a lot of dungeons to visit and revisit and break. Let's send him a blue rupee train to help. Believe me, you'll want to see that glitch exhibition.
Oh, you will.
We also have a $25 donation from Woki saying, best of luck to Glan on a super cool Link to the Past run. Don't forget to save the frog blacksmith along the way. They look like they might need a hopping hand.
Thanks, Woki.
Yeah.
So
The graphics
So Glenn-
are fixed now, so you can look away or look back at the game if it was bothering you.
yeah, the only way to fix that graphical corruption is actually a console reset. Even if you just save and quit the game, it's not enough.
He's going to be doing a glitch called a fast. That is what we named it.
Going fast.
It stands for funny auto swim thing, which is actually a play on words of another glitch that we knew about earlier called a funny auto walk thing. You may have seen Link just kind of slide down the screen while in one frame of swimming animation. That is what was the funny auto walk thing. It's just we happen to fake swimming while doing it, so it's funny auto swim.
Here we got a bomb clip he's going to do to skip a lot of the rooms at the front end of this dungeon. And then he's going to take the bottom exit of this room and go to a glitch that was discovered this year.
well,
Where he's
last year.
Well, yeah, last year, I guess. Yeah. Not used to 2021 yet.
It's called Icebreaker, and basically the theory behind it is we use the Cane of Samaria to interrupt movement so that we trick the game into thinking we're still in a door so that we can press up and down to be able to go through the rail there. That's the short of it.
Yeah. That also skips ahead a lot of rooms.
Yeah. Ice Palace is a dungeon we skip a lot of.
Yeah, even in the No Major Glitches speedrun, there's a bomb jump that lets us cross a pit and is able to skip a couple of loops through the dungeon and make it one of the faster ones.
Yeah, it's weird because
We're
it's
coming up to Cold Stair.
yeah. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go,
yeah,
Jax, go.
We're coming up to Cold Stair, one of the most dangerous bosses in the game. So Glan will have to defeat it without getting hit.
Yeah, it's probably the scariest boss of the run. Contact with Cold Stare does 4 hearts of damage, and with optimal movement, you have 4 hearts coming into the boss. That's pretty fun.
Good luck.
Nice.
Nice.
Alrighty. We have time for a few more donations.
Okie dokie. We have a $50 donation from Green Ham saying, praise Moyai for blessing us with a trio of iconic heroes today. GDQ and PCF, Glan and Frogs, and of course, Glan and Major Glitches. Stoked to see this category and Glan representing the A Link to the Past community. Good luck on the run.
Thanks, Greenham. One of the greats of our community.
Yeah, Greenham's amazing. Big shout out to Greenham.
Yeah,
Another donation?
Yep.
sure.
All right, we have a $100 donation from Nerf who says, have been loving GDQ all week, and now we need to get that Zelda glitch exhibition and Ocarina of Time run. Agreed, we need to see both of those happen. What are we at? Oh, wait, how did we just went from 99 to 141,000. So we are less than 100,000 away now. I know. Holy moly. I need to check and see if I've missed it. Oh, I missed a huge donation. Can I read that real quick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll do my best to read quickly because this is a $40,000 donation from Fangamer. Oh my goodness, Fangamer coming in once again. Thank you so much. It says, hi everyone, Fangamer here. We know you guys want to see that glitch exhibition for A Link to the Past. This donation should help us get closer, but we still need your help. Yes, you watching at home right now, send in those donations. Every little bit helps. hop on a $5, $10, or $20 donation train right now. Let's go. We've also still got plenty of awesome merch in our official AGDQ 2021 collection, where 100% of the profits are turned into donations that support the Prevent Cancer Foundation. Check it out at fangamer.com/GDQ. Thanks, guys.
All right, so a few little things happened there during all that excitement. We
Sorry.
faked some more swimming, and we went to go fill our bottle with some magic refilling potion that is, again, very important. Now, you'll also notice that Link was able to run on across the top of the water, and that's due to actually a moon pearl check that the game does whenever you exit from the underworld to the overworld, and it just happened to resolve his state into the one where he's walking, and we don't hit another water trigger between there and where we want to go, so we're able to just dash around. We also did another screen wrap there. Oh, yeah. Priest is sleepy. But we also did another screen wrap to go to the Icerod Cave and get that, because we do need that for the Trinix boss that we're going to get to real quick.
Yeah.
Doing some more transitional magic, this time on the overworld, to get to the castle in a relatively quick way. And now we're going to get into what that green potion is for. We're going to do another sub-mode manipulation, and we specifically call this one an underworld fake flute. And basically the game is trying to interpret what is the best way to resolve when you use the flute while in the underworld, which winds up really breaking the game even further than, or about as far as EG does in general.
Yeah.
Now, we never collected the flippers in this run, which means that when we hop into water, the game tries to bring Link back to land. And the flute also kind of moves Link far away from where he was. So we splash into the water. The game tries to put us back where we were, so that's why we're in this long scroll. And this long scroll is a signifier of us entering what we call Plaid World. Now, in Plaid World, Link obeys a completely different set of collision compared to what all of the enemies obey. And because we were able to sync Link up using that splash, we now are able to interact with sprites in this area. And that'll let us beat a whole bunch of bosses really quickly. You want to talk about the history of Plaid World, Josh?
Yeah, real quick, he's gonna be fighting, say hello to Viddy, right here. Yeah, it used to, when Plaid World was originally found, we didn't know how to get the sprites spawned properly. So we would actually run around and open up all the big key doors. And that would be what saved us time with using this state of the game. But what that long scroll accomplishes, it allows us to do like a little bit of a mini boss rush almost, where he's just, he just beat Viddy, and now he's running the Trinix, who's in this room.
Yeah, and his legs are in that other room.
And this is a pretty technical fight, too.
Yeah, he's actually trying to use dashes and pokes in a very particular way to save on magic. That way he doesn't have to refill anymore while he's in this particular boss rush, because we don't get any refills unless we collect a pendant or crystal, or I guess beat Aghanim would be one of them.
I missed a hit on him, I guess.
Now, one of the weird things about Plaid World is while a lot of the collision is different for Link, one thing he can still use are all these staircases that move you from room to room in the dungeon. And so we actually use that to kind of teleport around this quilt to get to certain areas much more quickly. And there's actually going to be one that's sort of infamous for these Plaid World segments where there's essentially a bunch of graphical junk right in the way, and you can't see Link at all, but he still has to get to a staircase that has a relatively small, I guess you could call it, hitbox. So, no, missed it.
Got it.
Yeah.
But also
It's
going easy,
really
by
hard
the
to
way.
get that. Yeah. And part of the collision that we're running into now is there's different parts of collision for where you are in the overall quilt, and as of right now there is a solid wall right underneath where Link is, and in order to actually count a boss as being dead, we have to collect the hearts. So Glan has to be very careful here to kill Landmolus high enough that he can still collect that heart.
I don't know what's happening. Bad things are happening.
All right, 2 of them down, just 1 more.
I missed like everything.
It's all right. We still get the heart, and we're able to go out. Now you'll see ether dropping down. Ether that we did collect earlier after Trinex is actually considered a dungeon prize drop for Hyrule Castle for some reason.
It's complicated.
Most other dungeons either have a specific drop or no drop, and I guess it was forgotten to get rid of that one for Hyrule Castle. So we are able to collect it here and skip having to go for the book, as well as going back up to Death Mountain to use it on the tablet up there to get the medallion proper. But now we're in this Aghanim fight, and you may think, well, why doesn't he move closer to reflect the shots? The thing is, we can't. We're actually in a column that we can't move out of. We can only move up and down here to be able to fight Aghanim, which actually makes the fight a lot slower. Usually there's a 50% chance on a lot of his attacks to spawn what we call blue balls, which you can't damage him from. And in addition to that, with all these warps and him flying all the way to the other side of the screen, we have to wait for the shot to travel there and back. So this is
That was 0 blue
a bit
balls.
more RNG.
Wow.
I wasn't keeping track.
Yeah, that was fast.
Ugh.
All yellow balls.
But now we're out of Plaid World, so we're done with that dungeon boss rush, but we still have to go and get those pendants and crystals from those dungeons in order to satisfy the rules of the category.
Yeah, we don't consider a dungeon complete unless the boss has been defeated and the prize from the dungeon has been collected. So we have to go back and grab the prizes.
It's also one of the final segments of the run, so if you want to see the glitch exhibition, be sure to get all your donations in now.
It's very important here on the overworld that Link doesn't get hit, because we want sword beams when we enter Misery Mire.
There's also a bit of a photosensitivity warning we want to give at some point during this overworld movement, because the graphics don't really load properly when we're in the Misery Mire area, and so there's going to be some lightning flashes along with a bunch of glitchy graphics that can be hard on the eyes. Not quite as hard as some other stuff we've seen, but we just want to give that warning.
Yeah, it's coming up very, very soon.
Yeah, the Misery Mire is going to try to load the rain overlay, or the rain graphics here, but we don't make a normal transition into Misery Mire, because we don't usually approach it from the side.
It's usually through a warp tile in the light world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This will end as soon as he enters the dungeon, where he'll do another hook push to get into EG.
All right, so we're going to be entering Misery Mire, but we're actually going to be hook pushing into EG and then traveling to the boss room of a completely different dungeon, and actually the one for Turtle Rock, where the boss is Trinex, who we defeated in Plaid World. And really, all a dungeon cares about for you to get the prize out of it, the pendant or crystal, is whether or not you're in a room where there is a boss defeated in it, essentially where you collect the heart. Now, once you collect the pendant or crystal, instead of warping you back to the dungeon that you entered, it actually warps you back to the start of the dungeon where you picked up the pendant or crystal. So we entered Misery Mire, but we're collecting this from Turtle Rock. So we're going to be spat back out in front of Turtle Rock rather than Misery Mire. It's complicated.
It's complicated. Could probably squeeze in a couple donations here, though.
Sure thing. We are now over 151,000 for that glitch exhibition. Come on, everyone. We can do it. We need about 70,000 more. This is the last night. This is your last chance. We also have a really awesome anonymous $50 donation that says, when my game looked like this, I found blowing on the cart and restarting usually fixed it.
Oh, okay. Thanks for the tip.
Well, it did work for part of this. It did work.
You want another donation real quick?
Sure.
How about an anonymous $1,000 donation saying, need to see those glitches.
We have a time for a few more because this is kind of more the same of what we just did with Mario, but now for Turtle Rock.
Oh, sure. Okay. We have a $50 donation from Juice saying, let's get that glitch showcase. I love seeing how broken this game is, no matter how many times I see it. We also have a $100 donation from Joan K saying, thanks to early detection methods, my dad's bowel cancer was caught quickly. He's now 5 years cancer-free, and I'm so grateful to all the research that made this possible. Donation to Link to the Past exhibition, and best of luck to Glan. Congrats to your dad. And a $50 donation from Autumn Garnet, saying, watching Glan run around like walls don't exist is just incredible. I can't wait to see how else you break the game. And of course, heck, cancer. Agreed.
You can do another donation.
Okay.
Yeah, just one more.
Okay, just, I have to pick just one. All right, okay. We have a $100 donation from RoboBo saying, I just remembered I have a Visa gift card burning a hole in my pocket. What better way to spend it than by donating toward the Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past glitch exhibition?
Alrighty, so now that we're done with all the pendants and crystals of the game, we still have one more boss we have to fight before we fight Ganon, and that's the rematch with Aghanim. Now, to get there, we're actually going to do what we call a wrong warp, where we fall in a hole, but one that the developers surely didn't intend. And the way we're going to do that is by doing something we call a quadrant glitch, where we do a spin, and it crosses across this invisible boundary within this room that winds up messing with how future transitions are going to behave. And then we're also going to use the Samaria again to change the room ID, which winds up causing these pits, which normally would damage you, to warp you to another room. And that room just happens to be the same one that the Aghanim rematch is in. In addition to that, there's some transparency and fading effects that wind up giving Link and Aghanim this sort of rainbow palette.
Shout out to Rainbow Link.
Shout out to Rainbow Link.
One of the best sprites.
Yeah, we're really closing in on the end of the run, so if you want to get that glitched exhibition in, please get those donations in.
Yeah, just do more Aghanim cycles to stall. Not because I'm bad.
Nice fight.
I can't see where I am.
Yeah, we just recently optimized this room to make it a bit easier to clip out of that. There was an attempt at a cutscene skip there.
Yeah. The cutscene ends when Ganon's bat goes off screen. So by clipping out and moving over, you can make it go off screen earlier. Saves a few seconds if you do it well.
Now we've got the last fight, Ganon. This is done pretty normally if you're at all familiar with the NMG runs of this game. They'll all look pretty familiar. If you're not too familiar with the game, you might wonder how he's going to fight Ganon without the silver arrows. But in the last phase, you can still damage him with sword spins if they're timed in a particular way.
He has a one frame window where he's vulnerable to normal damage. And with a spin that lasts 37 frames, you actually have a fairly large window to hit it.
And there's one more important glitch coming up, torch glitch.
Yeah.
And it'll keep it so we don't have to keep relighting 2 torches, just one.
You got it there, so we'll only have to relight the left one throughout the fight.
Bad warps.
Almost be done.
Yep.
There we go.
Nice run.
Time is coming
Nice
up as soon
run.
as he goes through the door here.
Time.
Looks like you're gonna get a 52, 20 something.
Not too bad considering stakes. The Thief's Town one was very costly.
Oh, 5230. GG.
Thank you.
You did all the dungeons
we're
and you
real-
used all the glitches.
Yep, that was the goal.
Yeah, we're really happy to have gotten to show this game off again in a glitched setting.
Yeah.
It's been several years since the last one, and things have progressed so much, it's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, this would be unrecognizable to people back then.
Do we have any word on the glitch exhibition incentive?
I'm still checking on that. It looks like it is up to 166,000, so we would need a very quick 58. Okay. So it looks like we are
Okay.
going to be taking a break, and then we will have an interview, which might give us enough time to keep pushing for that incentive. So keep getting those donations, and remember that your donations also go toward unlocking the Ocarina of Time All Dungeons run. So not only can we still have one more chance to see that glitch exhibition, but that will also help us with the Ocarina of Time run. So make sure to keep getting those donations in. You can do it. I believe in you. And great job, Glan. You did awesome.
Hopefully we'll be seeing you again.
Alrighty, well, thank you for that amazing run. That was super fun to watch. Love seeing games that are that broken. We have a... All right, let's do a few donations. It looks like we have a $250 donation from Ghislaine Langlois. It says, you guys rock and are an inspiration for so many of us. If you guys try a go at my French-Canadian name, I'll donate another $250 just because you deserve all my money. Well, hopefully I did okay with that. I definitely gave it a shot. That could help us with the glitch exhibition. Let's go. Okay. We also have a $50 donation from Heldon Subret saying, considering how broken this run has been, I've got to see the glitch exhibition. We are going to head very quickly over to hear a quick and wonderful word from one of our sponsors. Alrighty, welcome back to Awesome Games Done Quick Online 2021, powered by Twitch. We are still working on that Legend of Zelda Link to the Past glitch exhibition. We're definitely getting there. We are at 177,000 out of 222,000. Your donations are flooding in. I can see it. I love it. Keep it up. This is amazing. In the meantime, we're going to be heading over to an interview to check on the Super Mario Bros. 35 Battle Showcase runners with yours truly. And this is totally, definitely not pre-recorded, happening right now. Anyway, enjoy the interview. We will be back. Hello, everyone. Kungfufruitcup here. This has been quite a crazy day. Last day of the marathon. Hope you're all enjoying it. I am here joined by Author Blues, I Ate Your Pie Cosmic, and Adef, who are getting ready to do the upcoming Super Mario Bros. 35 Battle Showcase. How are the four of you doing?
Great.
Good.
Good. Going good.
Okay, well, that's great to hear. I know that we're all really looking forward to the showcase coming up. So the first thing I wanted to get into is, okay, wait. First of all, who do you think's gonna win? Who's gonna win here?
Cosmic.
Where's Cosmic on the screen?
Cosmic.
This way? This way? I was just gonna say, if you don't
Somewhere
say
over here.
yourself, you just need some self-confidence, but I mean, now I have way too much.
Either way, Mario will win. So,
Or Luigi.
Or Luigi.
Luigi, though?
or Luigi.
I think at the end of the day, the Lakitus win.
Yeah, that's fair.
That is a constant factor.
These are all answers that I wasn't expecting. I was definitely, look, based on our previous conversation, I was expecting each one of you to fight for, like, I'm gonna win. This person sucks. Like,
No.
just going this whole thing, and you're all like,
No, we've all
Cosmic."
met Cosmic. So
Yeah.
We're just here for a good time.
This is their only advantage they can get is putting all the pressure on.
Yeah, you know what? It's like a good strategy, actually. Just being like, oh, you're gonna win, right? You're gonna win, definitely.
everyone's counting on it.
All right, but what made you all want to work? Like, what made you all want to do this together? Like, what got you into this?
Should I take this one?
Yes.
Yeah,
should
Pi,
take
you
this
Yeah,
one.
go
okay.
ahead.
Yeah, all right. Thanks, guys. So, yeah, like SMB 35 came out, gosh, when was that? November?
October 1st.
October 1st. Thanks, Cosmic.
Got you.
Teamwork.
I don't know the specifics.
The winner
man.
just
I know
hopping
it-
in.
Pi, you're
happened,
flubbing.
man.
Go, dude. Go.
It
You got
existed.
this.
No,
got this.
no, it came out in October, and I think the four of us got into it like really hard. I know for me, I was playing it all the time. It had the very Tetris 99 feel. I believe it was made by the same company,
Mhm.
and I think we're all huge Mario fans. And the concept of basically out platforming the general populace was a very appealing thing for us, as we've all done speedruns of platform games, and so it was very addicting. And it felt like it would be something that a lot of people would be interested in to watch. And I know our audiences were eating it up and loving it. And so I basically was like, hey, this seems like something we could really showcase at a GDQ who'd be interested. And the three of these guys reached out immediately. And we just went from there and started kind of game planning what we wanted it to look like in a showcase standpoint. Because it's not really like a quote unquote speed run. We're not like trying to beat the levels. In fact, it's almost better to go slower in some of the levels for certain strategies and things like that. But we wanted to come up with a cool showcase, and we feel like we've got something really special here.
Yeah, we were
Right.
fortunate to be able to draw on the format from previously when Tetris 99 showcase happened. So
Mhm.
so we did draw heavily from that inspiration. But that plays a big role in it, and knowing how successful it was last time makes us confident that it's going to go really well this time.
Right. Also, the fact that this is not a game that's going to be happening for that much longer. You only have until what, March?
March 31st, I believe,
Mhm.
is the last possible day to play the game, according to Nintendo.
Yeah, we've heard no
know.
more information about it sticking around.
We gotta
Right.
assume that this is it.
Right, exactly. So if you're going to show it off, like, it has to be now at a GDQ. So glad that this got in. Glad that you can all be playing together. I wanted to know more about how you all kind of like prepped for this.
I can take this one. Prep for this has been really strange. All four of us have performed at several GDQs, whether it be commentary runs, what have you. And I can't speak for the other guys, obviously, but I've had a difficult time deciding how to spend my time practicing. Because when doing shorter speedruns or your NES speedruns that I would typically be doing at a GDQ, it's like, okay, I'm going to dedicate this many hours to practicing the difficult tricks. I'll spend this many hours in the practice room, and then I'll be ready to go, and I'll have safe strats. For this, since it's an online setting and there's so much luck involved, and we're playing against 34 people we don't know, really it's just like grinding. I've decided that, playing matches as much as I can has been the best conceivable way to prep. Other than that, just like, I have some problem stages where I feel I die often. And so I've also spent some time practicing those individual stages, but without junk enemies being sent your way, there's not a lot you can do. So just playing matches over and over and over again and trying to reiterate, or rather iterate upon strategies has been helpful for me.
And good.
Almost any game I've ever speedran, it's been almost entirely on me. There's been maybe a little bit of luck involved, but like if I play well, like I'll get the run I want or I'll win or whatever. But in this, there's so much luck involved, or just like randomness. Like just you could be paired up against an opponent who's really good, and it draws your match on forever, and then you don't get a chance to win as many as everyone else, and you could win all your matches, and someone else could still get more points. So, yeah, I don't know. You just want to play as well as you can and see what happens.
So it kind of sounds like there's a lot going into this.
Yeah, there's a lot of deciding factors for a game, like kind of riffing off what Cosmic was saying. There's a huge disparity in what it's like to play against just a round of pubs, playing against random players or playing against, actual talented players. I've kind of seen the gamut over the past few weeks, playing against like high-level Japanese lobbies and playing against viewers in my own stream who have been sniping me, and just intentionally playing against public lobbies. And it's an entirely different style of gameplay for each one. So we're kind of at the mercy of whatever gets dropped into our game specifically, and sort of assimilating to whatever we deal with.
Yeah, that's fair. So I wanted to know if there was like a game. I mean, this might be pretty obvious, but like if there was a specific game that you all have played, or speedran more specifically, that you think was the best thing to prep you for this type of game. Like
hey, Cosmic.
Mario game.
Cosmic, what's your answer?
Probably Super Mario Bros. If I had to pick one.
I thought you were going to say Billy Hatcher, I swear to God.
That was helpful.
Well, I don't know. I mean, just like anything like this, I just didn't know with like any combination that it could have, like if it was just like the original, or if there was, I don't know, anything with all the stuff being thrown your way, like if there's anything extra, you're like, oh, this is really helpful for me to have under my belt already.
It's unlike pretty much anything else. I can't really relate it to anything. I guess if you were really talented at Tetris 99 and you played those sorts of games in which you have to do the whole give and take against other human opponents in this sort of like indirectly competitive environment, then maybe. But for the most part, the best you can get is have a lot of experience with Super Mario Brothers 1. I mean, really anyone can do well at Super Mario Brothers 35 if you just have a basic understanding of the level layouts, where you can find power-ups and one-ups and coins and things like that. So basic cursory knowledge of SMB1 is the greatest asset in this, and all of us have some experience with that to one degree or another.
And I think, sorry, go ahead, Kung Fu.
No, you. I was going to ask another question.
I think that, like, to piggyback off of what Auth was saying, it's not only cursory knowledge of SMB1, but, obviously all four of us, like I said previously, have experience, and Pi said this as well earlier in the interview. We have platforming experience. I know specifically Cosmic obviously has the most extensive with SMB1, but Auth, correct me if I'm wrong, you have sub 5 as well, don't you?
Not sub 5 in any percent. I have sub 20 in Warpless.
Which is equally incredibly, well, maybe not equally, but it's also
even
a very, very
useful,
competitive.
actually.
Yeah, exactly. In Warpless,
you use Fire Flower, you play all the levels.
Yeah.
So, Pi and I don't have a ton of SMB1 speedrunning experience, but we both have tons of speedrunning experience. And that, I think, has proven invaluable, both from like a standpoint of being patient and needing to go fast. And this competitive aspect of the game is so thrilling. I kept seeing like battle royales being released, like, PUBG or games like that, and I'm always like, man, wouldn't it be sick if there were a platforming battle royale? And when this game dropped, I was like, oh my god, it's here.
Yeah, the only shame is that it's so short-lived.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Sure.
Agreed.
So real quick, I wanted to know from each of you. So I'll just kind of go down the line. If there's any kind of like major strength or weakness that you feel like you have that could either contribute or like take away from your performance coming up. So like ADEF, is there anything you can think of?
I think I perform well in red time.
Okay.
You know, obviously that's a red time is this mechanic towards the end of a match where the time starts to move very, very quickly. It's usually when there are only a handful of players left in the lobby. I think I perform well in that scenario. I think I perform well under pressure in that scenario. I don't know. It's tough to say. I have a lot of platforming experience, so honestly, I'm just really looking forward to this match. This is going to be the highlight of my month, perhaps my year, quite early.
Yeah, it's a little early. All right, what about you, Pi?
Honestly, I think a lot of, I guess, my strength is going to come from reactions. Something I wanted to touch on a little bit earlier, but I did a lot of Mario Maker when Mario Maker 1 came out and then Mario Maker 2. And I think that actually does help a little bit, just in the sense that like you don't really know what's being thrown at you. And with this game, there are the way that the enemies are spawned and things like that, there are like set places that they can go, but you don't know what enemies are going to be spawned, who's going to be sending you enemies. So having like quick reactions and kind of being able to just navigate through some of these weird spots with enemies dropping, I feel probably is my biggest strength. But I don't know. I don't really think I have a strong strength. I think I'm just like a jack of all trades kind of guy, master of none. So
cool. Okay, that sounds good. Yeah, I'm very similar in that aspect. What about you, Oth?
So not too long ago, I mentioned before I'd been doing some viewer lobbies and some lobbies with some high-level players, and so I think one of my strengths is I maybe I'm not great at it, but I at least have some experience with what it's like to play against good players. And I think it's not unrealistic to think that some people are going to be trying to snipe a high-profile AGDQ SMB 35 showcase. And so the occasional person who does successfully drop into one of our games can be quite an impediment. And I think I have at least a little bit of experience with how to deal with that under pressure. So I think that could be a big help.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely. It sounds great so far. What about you, Cosmic?
Since I speedrun Super Mario Bros. The original so much, I can play the game really fast. Like I'll probably outpace people collecting coins or like building up time or whatever. There are some really clear differences in like physics and mechanics though. So sometimes I just happen to jump right into a pit or whatever. But if I can play my game, a lot of times I can edge people out and stay alive on time or have enough resources since I'm building it up a lot faster than most.
Awesome. I really love hearing that all of your answers are different. Like you all have different things that you think you're going to be, that you will be bringing to the table, which is going to make this amazingly fun and interesting and great to watch. So that's coming up next. Thank you all so much for chatting with me today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
All right, well, coming up next is the Mario Bros. Showcase, Super Mario Bros. 35 Battle Showcase with these four awesome, I want to say like participants or like, I don't know how to, putting you against each other. Opponents.
Gamers. I was going to say that, Oth. I was going to say that.
All right, well, make sure to stick around so you can see this amazing showcase. Thank you so much, and we'll be ready soon.
Well, that was a great interview, Fu. Good job keeping those troublemakers in check, All right, cool. Well, I hope you all enjoyed the interview. So, just a heads up, we are only 10,000 away from the Glitch exhibition. You all have been incredible during that last interview, so much so that I've been wearing my voice out this week, and I just had a major voice crack. How great was that? Look, I don't know what's been happening, but you all are just absolutely dominating these donations right now. Thank you so much for all of your amazing support. I'm going to read a few more donations because I think we can get that. Look, another 1,000 toward that incentive. I'm just seeing the numbers fly up. I have this live tracker in front of me. It's so exciting. This has been really exciting. We've just been counting to each other. It's great. So we have a $250 donation from a Tarek. What's up, Tarek? Who says, former Ocarina of Time runner and Twitch staff here. Chat, you want to see the Glitch Expo for A Link to the Past, and I do too. Putting this toward the Glitch Expo and the obviously required run of Ocarina of Time. Yes, remember, your donations are not only going toward this Glitch exhibition for that incentive, but it's also helping to unlock Ocarina of Time. And my goodness, we are getting really close to 2.15 million. This is amazing. My mind is being blown right now. I'm very excited. we have a $3,000 donation from the 5th Matt with no message, but holy moly. We have a $25 donation from Tempestral, who says, it was great helping out with GDQ this year. One last donation in memory of my grandmother who passed away from brain cancer a few years ago. Thank you so much for all of your help on GDQ this week. Everybody behind the scenes and on camera, off camera, all of chat, you all have been so incredible. So thank you so much for everything that you've been doing. We got that $250 extra from Ghislaine Langlois because they say, I promised another $250 if you tried to butcher my name, and it was glorious. Thanks, Kungfufruitcup. Keep on donating, guys. Oh my goodness. We are 5,000 away. $5,000. We can do this. We want to see this glitch exhibition. I know you all want to see it. We're keeping track of it. I have the numbers right here. Seriously, look, we had a another $3,000 donation from Reaper Hulk. This was, it says about $1 per second of this enjoyable run. But does all dungeons have a burb toss? We also have a $50 donation from Pidge01 saying, I heard Glenn is a gamer. Can anyone confirm? Good luck on the run, dude. Yes, I believe we can all confirm. Plus, we would like to see a bit more of Glan, I'm sure. We are 3,000 away, 3,000. Make me wear out my voice right now in hype. I want to see it, okay? It's happening. I love the hype chat. Keep it up. Keep those donations coming in. We're so close, so close. It's amazing. We have, there's so much. $1,000 from Jake Man saying, let's get that link to the past exhibition. $1,000 from Anonymous saying, come on, let's go. We have $150 from Anonymous who says, if everyone in the chat donated $5, we would not only get to see the glitch exhibition, but would completely smash past the incentive for Ocarina of Time. Remember, too, that all proceeds are going to an awesome cause. Let's go, Twitch chat. I can hear those words ringing loud and clear. We are like $500, $300, $26. Okay, we made it. Wait, $100, $100. I thought it was $222 flat. Okay, we made it. We made it. Let's go. Let's see it. Let's see it. I want to see it now. Glitch exhibition. Congratulations. Thank you so much, everybody, for your amazing support. That was really incredible. I'm so excited. All right, one more donation and then we get to see this happen. So exciting. $50 from Patrick, who says, let's see that glitch exhibition. Also, dedicating this donation to my mom who beat thyroid cancer and my late dad who lost his battle with prostate cancer. Thank you for your support. Oh my goodness, can't wait to see this exhibition. Thank you, chat. Best of luck, Glenn. Show us what you got. So excited.
All right, so gonna be the glitch exhibition. We're gonna show you some crazy stuff that you wouldn't normally see otherwise. First off, we're here at the blind fight, and there's actually a few like kind of really weird visual effects you can get from this by doing something like while the maiden walks into the light to interrupt it. So if I run in and open the map, then kind of just like stops it halfway and it's like faded like this.
Very dark.
Very dark. I
Very
also
mellow.
use the save and quit menu here. And
then it becomes garish.
yeah, nice and yellow. And best for last is using the mirror.
Oh, that's a good one. So we get the darkness from the map, but we also get a lot of the pixelation from the mosaic transition from using the mirror in a dungeon. And unlike the color change from the select menu or the darkening from the map, this one persists. And the only way we can really get rid of it is either through a save and quit or using the mirror in a dungeon.
Yeah. So I'm gonna get the
Now,
crystal,
unfortunately,
go into the cutscene.
unfortunately, we actually. Yeah, we can't menu, so we can't get to the mirror right now. We can't use it, so we're going to show you that it does actually go out to the overworld too.
So I am playing on the practice hack, so I'll have access to save states and stuff, and some other features. But all these glitches do work on the normal game. So yeah, this is totally how the cutscene's supposed to look, right?
It's kind of hard to read.
You can definitely read the text, right?
Dot. Maybe we could
By the
get
way,
into Morse code or
thanks
something.
everyone for donating to
Yeah.
make this incentive happen. Thank you so
really.
much.
Thanks so much.
That
Really
was an
excited to
insane
show
amount
this
of money
stuff
you guys
off.
put together.
So yeah, this is how the overworld looks with this.
Yeah, and keep in mind, this is just graphical corruption. Everything else is working just fine.
Yeah,
All right, so let's go ahead and fix this.
yeah.
Oh.
If I can get back into these town.
Yeah.
You can fix this by using the mirror again to trigger the mosaic transition again. So next up, we're
Alright.
gonna showcase a way to get the blacksmith, the frog, early without mitts, even though I have mitts on the save state.
Yeah, the important thing is the method, not necessarily what we have on us right now. In fact, this method is also fairly recent in terms of the history of glitches for this game, and it's called Tree Warp. Now, Tree Warp takes the use of some very special sprite spawning routines that the game has in it. What's that? Oh, right, we do need that.
Yeah.
But we're taking advantage of some very special sprite spawning code, and we're manipulating stuff into sprite slots in a very certain way so that when it tries to spawn in this certain something, it spawns something else instead. Now, the main cause of it is actually these talking trees. You can see this pink one there. It actually has 2 eyes and a mouth, and those are 3 separate sprites. And the method it tries to do is it tries to load them all in simultaneously, but if you're loading in 3 sprites, but you only have 1 slot available, what happens? And that's basically what we're going to show off here.
Yeah. What happens?
First, we have to corral the chickens.
Yeah, we have to get so many sprites
This
involved,
happens.
and there we go. So Tree Warp actually spawns a wall master onto the overworld, and it immediately grabs Link. Now, the game still actually thinks that Link is in the dark world right now, so when he goes into the house here, he's going to see the dwarf, but not.
No, he's gonna be a green tunic.
Excuse me, sir. Sir,
What?
in the player's guide for this game, the green tunic is called a green jerkin, and it is very important to me that you call it a jerkin
Okay.
and not a tunic. Thank you.
Okay, he appears like a green jerkin.
There you go.
But then we turn him into a frog, and then we're going to turn him into a dwarf, and we have a couple of other things to turn him into.
Yeah. So we're gonna save and quit to the sanctuary where Zelda is. And now we turned him into Zelda.
Now, he still acts like a dwarf in all other aspects of the game code, but he just likes to dress pretty sometimes.
And let's go ahead and rescue Zelda here, or the smith, or whatever. Whatever it is now.
Not the typical way of rescuing Zelda.
So yeah, now he lost his head. Bit gruesome.
Yeah, there's a couple of other things that we can actually turn the smith into, like one of the Dark World crows. But that takes a completely different set of glitches to get to.
Yeah. I'm gonna actually show off next another form of wrong warp, which is basically the third of the 3 forms we have compared to Tree Warp and the one that you saw in the All Dungeons run to get to Agnum 2. So it's going to be similar in a way to that one. What we saw with that warp to Agnum 2 was removing the flag in the room, which says that falling in a hole damaged Link in order to fall into like the destination set for that super tile for that room. But here we're going to actually use a side effect of Samaria corruptions, which is that in certain rooms, they actually create a bunch of holes in the floor. And they do so in consistent places for some reason that I don't really understand.
I don't think anybody understands why the holes get created in the locations that they are.
Yeah.
And actually, in
So
the
I'm going to
run
use a
that Glan
practice
did,
hack feature here to show the holes. So the red here are holes. And if I fall in one, it'll send me to whatever the destination room is for this, which is this room in Palace of Darkness. So I just wrong warped from Eastern to Palace of Darkness, basically. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
I don't remember.
Okay. So I'm gonna reload House Darkness here. I guess you can talk about this.
Yeah, so we did a death hole in the run earlier where we used it to go over to Thieves Town. But one thing we didn't really touch on is that there was a state that we got Link into that we briefly saw, but we didn't get to explore, and now we're going to explore it a little bit. We call it the Falling Link State glitch. So we're stuck in a hole, we take a death, and we're actually going to cause a screen transition in the underworld here, so that Link is visible, and now we get this. And Link is kind of stuck in the state. You can take damage and all that. What's actually funny is that this is also what we call an armed water walk state, meaning that if we jumped straight down into deep water on the overworld, we would start walking on it. And also, you're able to move really fast if you hold up or down on the D-pad as you're moving around. I'm so sad that this doesn't really have a home anywhere. It's just not really useful for any runs.
Yeah, it's so silly looking.
You can just like pick up stuff and it's just sideways.
When he picks stuff up, it looks hilarious.
Yeah. So here
you can also use your sword.
I can water walk here, so now I'll be walking on the water. And
now, we actually have the flippers currently, and there's a very special way of using this water walk plus flippers. Are you going to show it on this screen? Okay, this one?
Yeah.
So, yeah, now we have what we call an infinite bonk state, where if you run into something, you will bonk.
Yeah.
And that's just how this works now. It's just for this screen, but only because we dashed onto the shallow water.
I'm going to do a safe state
we're going to show you. Yeah. Because now we get to see why it's called infinite bonk. This is actually a bit of a soft lock. You have to save and quit out of it to be able to fix this. But
I use the
the guard is having a hard time hitting you.
Yeah.
He's trying.
He doesn't quite know where I am. So here we're going to use an overworld YBA. This is the same glitch that we used in the run to do an underworld fake flute. We hit a screen transition and drink a potion on the same frame. I'm going to use this bomb to get right up against the screen transition here. Probably do another save state. Yeah, because I messed it up.
Okay, there we go. So that did some interesting things. It did a lot of interesting things that I have no time to really go into. But one thing it did do is it changed the collision that we're currently on. So if we go into the map and back out, we're somewhere completely different. Right now, this is actually the screen for the Dark World Lumberjack area, and all the sprites are here. And this guy's very mad that we got rid of his sign, even though we never picked it up.
We didn't pick it up. We just like magically made it disappear out of existence.
Now, we can also, the collision is just offset a little bit, but if you splash right there, it'll open up a bush and reveal a warp tile that goes to the Dark World.
Yep.
And normally that tile is under a dark rock on the overworld screen to the left of you, but the YBA just messed up a whole bunch of stuff to make that happen.
So here we can show kind of an obscure mechanic of the Cane of Samaria, which is we can actually use it to refill our magic, and we can actually use it to go over the maximum, which is going to cause the magic bar to get really glitchy looking. Okay.
Might have to do it a few times.
Yeah, I had something messed up there, but it should work now. Yeah. So now we have a rupee magic.
We actually can't use most of our magic items. For some reason, we can still use the cape, but most of the others treat it as if we had an empty bar.
Yeah. The cape is a very weird item in its own way. I'm gonna do another.
Yeah, it's probably the second most broken.
In all the wrong ways, though. Unfortunately.
Yeah, in the worst ways.
This time, because I did a fake flute on the overworld, everything is normal. Like, it doesn't have a problem loading the overworld screen that I go to. However, because I was in the dark world and it loaded a light world screen, I'm in fake light world now. So if I screen transition away from here, I will be in the dark world again. Here.
Yeah, you can see how the graphics aren't quite right. There's a lot more blockiness than you would expect.
So
and now we're
here's
going to get to something we call overworld conveyor, which is really interesting. A lot of areas in the underworld have these conveyors that they use, and they modify this one variable. And by doing that little setup, now we have a constant downward conveyor applied to Link, which is not really helpful in a lot of places because you can't dash left or right along walls because you'll bonk.
Yeah.
But you can also pick up that rock to the side and get sort of an invisible rock.
And it sounds like rupees for some reason.
Not sure why, but we can also use this state and kind of tap into the slope here, and all of a sudden we're able to just go through all collision. I think you lost the clipping state. These dead rocks are a pain. You might have to. Okay, you're gonna try that method.
I'm gonna try from the bottom here.
It's a little tougher doing it this way than being on the upper part of the slope.
Yeah. Because I'm being forced down constantly. Alright, I'm just gonna get rid of these guys and then do it from above. Or, well, now mirroring again. These guys are really annoying. They look...
We're actually just showing how annoying.
Yeah, that's the exhibition.
This is
how
typical.
much dead rocks
This is
suck
typical dealing with
exhibition.
them. Yeah. All right, so now we're in the clipping state.
No, don't do it.
Oh no.
No.
Don't you dare.
No.
Oh, you. I think we can move on from that because he's just not letting us happen.
Yeah, I'll try one more time and then I'll move on.
Yeah. Oh, now the Tektite wants to play.
Oh no, he's gonna do it again.
Don't you? Okay. Don't you dare.
Just do that.
Oh wow, that actually worked.
Okay.
I thought that would have knocked you back and cut it out. So keeping that clipping state lets us keep that downward movement applied to Link in the underworld. That normally doesn't happen. And we actually did another sort of screen wrap here. So we just collected a heart piece that normally requires the hammer to get, and we didn't use that at all.
And it's also normally very difficult to get into that cave, but we were able to just kind of like float through the wall there.
I think we have one last thing we want to show, right?
Yeah, I just forgot where I was going for a second.
So we're actually going to go back to Plaid World, and there's a couple of things we want to show off there. There was, when we actually discovered the whole synced Plaid World thing, we actually found a way to dupe heart containers off of a boss. And it actually kind of caused a little bit of a category split. No one's actually run the other one, but we had to change the rules for our 100% category that uses all these glitches to say that we have to get the heart pieces from their original locations.
Yeah. Yeah, because you can get 6 hearts through this method that you're not supposed to be able to, which is exactly the amount of heart containers you get through heart pieces in this game. So you would be able to just skip everything. So I almost forgot to get.
Oh, that would have been bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, here we're doing the sinking scroll again to bring Link back to where he should be.
Yep.
Should in heavy quotation marks.
Where
And
are all the graphics in Plaid World coming from?
I think it's based off of the Overworld tile set.
Yeah, it should be based off the Death Mountain tile set.
Yeah,
That's
which
what
is
we're
why
referring
it
to.
looks relatively normal when you land from the flute, but yeah, nothing else. They had to reuse a lot of graphical assets in various places, so that's why we run into things like tile sets with all this stuff.
Yeah.
Luckily, sprites are their own sort of section of memory for graphics, so they're always, or not always, but a lot of the time, they're going to be relatively normal.
So the duplication works here with the Armos fight. So how the Armos fight works is all of the Armos are actually the same sprite, and they're just coded to say, like, when this dies, if there aren't any other Armos on screen, then you must have beaten the boss, and so you get a heart container. But we can kill it, and then just scroll the others off screen before it actually blows up, and it'll drop a heart container.
Incidentally, there are 24 heart pieces in the game, and there's 4 heart pieces per heart container, so if you got all 6, then you wouldn't have to get any heart pieces.
Yep.
Which is, again, why that category split kind of happened, or that rule change came into play.
So we've got just a couple other tiny things to show here.
One of which is actually, we're going to put a very heavy epilepsy warning,
yes.
warning on this one. It's much worse than anything else we've shown in terms of photosensitivity.
Yeah.
But if you can stand it, I'm sure you'll enjoy it.
Yeah. We're gonna throw you all a little party here. Actually, first I'm gonna go down to.
Oh yeah, you're gonna get some proper music going in, rather than it being
it's
all
a
silent.
party. We need music.
Yeah.
All right. First, show a little funny thing here.
So there's a little pole statue there that kind of freezes Link into that particular position. And you can use all kinds of things. You could even interrupt sword spins with it. It's really funny. But
so
here we go. Epilepsy warning.
If you have any photosensitivity, please don't do this. Please don't look at this. I am not responsible.
So just like what happened with falling into Aghanim 2 between like the fading and a transparency effect, we get a cycle of colors and say goodbye to your bit rate. This lasts for, we think, about 18 minutes as it's resolving a 2-byte timer. The reason this actually happens is it's trying to resolve this transition, but Link can't move any further because the tongue statue is in the way. And so it's trying to resolve this fade, but it's going much further than it should, and we get a nice disco show.
Yeah.
So we want to thank you all for staying with us and letting us show all this stuff off.
Yeah, thank you very much for all the donations going to Brand Cancer Foundation's really good cause. Got to see all these really cool glitches. Thank you very much, EQ, for letting us show all this stuff today. Really been wanting to show it off for a long time.
Yeah, it's amazing how much money you guys raised in such a short amount of time to get this to happen. We really appreciate it.
It's just gonna wrap it up here. Thanks for watching.
That was amazing. Congratulations, and thank you again for showing us that amazing glitch exhibition. I'm so glad we got the chance to see that. Oh my goodness. Alrighty, it looks like we are going to have next up on the schedule is what we were just talking about earlier, the Super Mario Bros. 35 showcase. It's going to be awesome. Just as another reminder, we are getting close to 2.2 million. If we can hit 2.5 million this evening before the marathon is over, we will get to see the amazing Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time All Dungeons speedrun by ZFG. I will be chatting with him in just a bit so we can talk more about that. Trust me, you want to see it. Keep those donations coming in. You can put all of your incentives and things toward naming the Pokemon for Pokemon Blue, right? Pokemon Blue, yes, which is a catch-em-all. So plenty of opportunities. You can name plenty of Pokemon. Those donations also go toward Ocarina of Time. It's going to be amazing. Let's get in a quick donation. We have so many. It's awesome. We have a $15 donation from Handsome Costanza saying, I've never had my comment read before. Bet you won't read this one. Oh, bet again. And we have a $25 donation from Budweiser Toads, who says, hi, Glan. We've been watching your run and are riveted to our screens. We knew it was going to be good, but we never thought it would be so badly broken. It's been a webbingly good time. Keep up the good croak. I'm sorry. That was great, though. Thank you all for continuing to get those donations in. We are also going to take a quick peek at a word from our sponsors once again. We have some more info once again on Disgaea 6 Defiance of Destiny. Make sure to join Zed in his quest and rise above his lowly status to challenge a god of destruction. Along the way, meet zany characters, explore new worlds, and discover the power of sibling bonds and determination. This game is coming this summer, 2021. You can learn more and pre-order today by going to disgaea.us/D6. That is disgaea.us/D6. I want to thank you all so much for having me here to host again this GDQ. It's been a pleasure getting to host for you all. Thank you all for putting in those donations, for supporting the cause. Prevent Cancer Foundation is a wonderful charity, so this has been amazing. I'm always happy to be a part of it. I know you've probably had a little too much of me. You only have one more time this marathon that you'll have to put up with the Kungfufruitcup. However, I've had a blast. Thank you all so much, and I will be handing things off to the lovely, lovely Sky Bills. She's going to be amazing leading us into the Super Mario Bros. 35 Battle Showcase. So we'll be back after a short break, and I'll see you all later for an interview. Take care.
Welcome back to Awesome Games Done Quick 2021, powered by Twitch. I'm Skybills, and I'm going to be your host for Super Mario Brothers 35. So excited for this. I hope everyone had a fantastic time watching Link to the Past Glitch Exhibition. I have learned so much about that game, and I'd like to thank everyone again for pushing towards that incentive. Speaking of incentives, we have Ocarina of Time to meet at 2.5 million. But while we are taking that journey there, why don't we donate for some fresh Pokemon memes as well? So something to keep in mind when looking at the remainder incentives. But let's push for that Ocarina of Time post 2.5 million. We have a $25 donation from Sleeper, who says, good luck to all the Mario 35 runners and congrats to Cosmic for going full-time with his career. Yes, did you know that you can subscribe for free with Prime Gaming? And real quick, as we are getting into this Mario segment, folks, remember, I would like to know throughout this showcase if you are Team Oth, Team Pi, Team ADF, or Team Cosmic. So please be sure to let me know. I like to hear your opinion. I like to see what y'all think. So please be sure to let me know where your loyalty lies throughout, and I'll be sure to read off the hype for this run. Ike donates $5 saying, chat, let's go for a $5 train. Let's go. $25 from Dirty Dan, who says, I will take the snack, please. And yes, folks, that is for one of the Pokemon names for the Pokemon Blue incentive here. So if you want to know some examples for some names right now, while we were thinking, Sky, what kind of puns are there going on? We have Burb. We have ZFG fitting for our 2.5 million incentive. We have Fruit Cup for our wonderful host, Kungfufruitcup. Shoutouts to Kungfufruitcup. Very much enjoyed your hosting segment before. We have Ekans because apparently people want the regular name. We have John Cena going on. So again, if you would like to get those donations in and have your fresh memes be heard in Pokemon, please get those in. We have $11 from Koro, who says, insert comment donation read by reader here. Well, that worked. I very much enjoy those metas. Itzy donates $20 saying, I'm watching from the Japanese restream. Thanks for the awesome run and good luck to all the runners. $25 from Britbrop, who says, I think we can all agree Solid Snack is the best name for Atkins. $5 train for Solid Snack, please. Thank you. Appreciate the politeness on that donation. Thank you. All right, let's get some hype going right before this run here. We have $25 from Summy Grits, who says, cannot wait for Mario 35. Go Team Oth, firm belief. Appreciate the pears and Grey Witch. I've already seen some Oth pairs go on in chat. Giga donates $25 and says, excited to see Pi and Friends plus 31 showcase this game at GDQ. What is your favorite level and why is it 1-1? Representing Team Pi. Mike Lundgren donates $100, says, Team ADF, good luck. And Mike Hale J donates $25 saying, you've got this, Cosmic, representing Team Cosmic. Very happy to see some hype for all four of our lovely players here. So be sure to keep those hype donations coming in, representing your team. Be sure to pick your team before it starts because we remember, as with some of our other shows on GDQ Hotfix, no live deals, y'all. Madden donates $250 saying, awesome event, great runners, and one of the best communities I know. Greetings from Germany and keep up the good work. We have a 1,000 donation from Zero to Hero. No comment, but a heart. But thank you very much for your donation. Very much appreciated. And we have a $5,000 anonymous donation. No comment, but thank you very, very much for your donation. We appreciate it. Timbo donates $250 saying had to donate during one of my favorite Zelda games and cannot wait till the Pokemon Blue run, aka my first Pokemon game, 2 million hype. And I'm going to now also say 2.5 million hype. Peak Zoro donates $1,000 saying link to the past. Let's put cancer in the past too. 2 million hype. Guri Inverse donates $25 saying, awesome games done quick. 2016 kept me sane when I was in the hospital undergoing cancer treatment years back. And now I'm going to be 5 years cancer-free this May. Shout outs to every single one of these fantastic runners, as well as to Kungfufruitcup, who inspired all 3 of my daughters with her mind-blowing Beat Saber exhibition earlier on today. Let's keep kicking cancer's butt and keep Luigi in the running for Mario 35, because Luigi at #1. And that being said, Luigi is very